Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know it's cold out here today. I am so sorry for this. But what this does is this shows you the element that our first responders have to deal with on a daily basis. No matter if it's the inclement weather, hot outside, cold outside, or raining, these first responders behind me come out to make sure that people like you, me, are taken care of and provided with a service each and every day. My name is Deputy Brad Hughes. I'm with the Powhatan County Sheriff's Office. Although we are only 5 days into the new year, currently right now, we are at 0 fatalities for the United States. 0. That is something that is an amazing feat. That is something that we want to continue going forward. This conference serves as a critical reminder that we have successfully completed those 5 days. A total of 106 hours has gone by, and no first responder throughout the United States has been struck or fatally killed. We must endeavor to sustain this exemplary safety record throughout the remainder of the year. Enhancing situational awareness regarding advanced warning signs that you see behind me. Making sure that you see those to be proactively prevent future incidents from occurring. On March 17th, 2014, I was involved in a severe crash by a distracted driver, resulting in the amputation of both of my legs. This life-altering experience has ignited a passion for educating individuals from high school students to first responders about the significant dangers faced by our first responders each and every day, along with our individuals who are disabled on the side of the road. Today, with my colleagues, they will share their experiences and accounts of incidents caused by individuals who failed to comply by the Virginia Move Over law. Starting off, our initial speaker, representing the Virginia State Police, will be Lieutenant Colonel Taylor, who will discuss the Move Over law and the impact on the state troopers.
Thank you. How do you follow something like that? You know, what kind of impression does that leave on you? If you don't think it impacts our folks, this slow down, move over law, just take a look at him. First, I'd like to say thank you to DriveSmart for holding this important event, and for our media partners for coming out to cover it. The safety of Virginians and the safety of the motoring public is a top priority for the Virginia State Police. It's the reason that we do exist. It isn't our only major concern, though. The safety of our troopers and the safety of our public safety partners, our record drivers, our fellow officers, fire and EMS, that all matters to us as well. And I'll tell you, as a police executive, what keeps me up at night is the safety of our members, in addition to the safety of the public. I know it's the same for the other folks standing here. So it's just as important. And that roadway is our workplace. It's the workplace of our people. And it matters. You want a safe workplace where you are. We want one as well. So each new class of troopers, we enforce this with. You know, we stress to them, keep their head on a swivel, pay attention, educate the public about this move over law and what it means. And it's been successful at saving lives, no doubt about it that it has, but we still have some work to do. So just since October, we've had 2 state troopers struck while working crashes with their lights on, as you see here. So I don't know how they can miss them, but they do. Drivers get distracted, run in the back of them. On October 11th in Pittsylvania County, one of our troopers was working a crash when his patrol vehicle was hit in the rear and was pushed into him. It severely injured him. He's still out recovering from that. In November, we had another one. Our colleagues in Washington State weren't quite as lucky. Just before Christmas, they had a trooper killed working a crash when their vehicle was struck from behind. So these crashes demonstrate the dangers our members face every day just doing their job on the side of the road. It's a daily thing, and they know it. They assume the risk when they take this role. They do their best to avoid it, but they need your help. We absolutely need drivers to put their focus on the road. Driving a car safely demands your full attention. Not divided attention, it demands your full attention. When you see flashing lights, hazard lights, or road flares, please slow down, move over when possible, and give our first responders some room to work safely. As I said before, doing so saves lives and allows us all to feel a little more secure on Virginia's roadways. So thank you for your time and attention.
Now we have Brandy Brubaker, Director of Highway Safety Strategy for the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles. She will discuss safe driving habits and Virginia roadway statistics.
Good morning. Thank you to Brad for organizing this event today and to Drive Smart Virginia. And thank you to all of our first responders here today and out on the roads. Passed many various first responders on my way in this morning, and I just took a moment to think about the dangerous situation that they're in as they're on the side of the road and people are whizzing by at 60 miles an hour. Every day, first responders across Virginia put themselves in harm's way to protect the rest of us. Virginia's move over law is clear. When drivers approach flashing lights on the roadside, they are required to slow down and move over when it's safe to do so. And yet, far too often, drivers don't. They're distracted, they're in a hurry, they assume it won't matter this time. But crashes involving stopped emergency vehicles happen in seconds, and the consequences are permanent. The move over law isn't about inconvenience, it's about personal responsibility. Slowing down and changing lanes might cost you a few seconds. Not doing so can cost someone their life. Following the move over law sends a clear message that we respect the people who show up when things go wrong. That we understand the road is a shared space and that safety doesn't stop just because we're running late, just because we don't feel like moving over, just because we're focused on something else. We need to be focused on the road. So here's the simple ask. When you see flashing lights ahead, slow down. If you can safely move over, please do it. If you can't, reduce your speed and stay alert. Put the phone down. Focus on the road. Give responders the space they need to do their jobs and make it home safely to their families. Because one day, the person on the side of the road might be there for you or someone you love. And the choice you make in that moment matters more than you know. Thank you.
Virginia Department of Transportation. They are responsible for over 125,000 lanes, miles of roadway throughout this Commonwealth. VDOT personnel conduct highway repairs continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, often in close proximity to vehicles that are surrounding them, with the hope that drivers will slow down as they approach them. Again, it goes back to advanced warning signs. It goes back to individuals following the speed limit during roadway incidents. Kevin Gregg, Chief Maintenance and Operations for VDOT, will speak on how VDOT has had their personnel affected in incidents such as this.
Good morning, Brad, Josh Marks, Virginia. Thank you for putting this event on. This is really important to everyone here, especially to those folks in VDOT. Thank all of you for being here today as well. Today I'm speaking on behalf of the people who work every day to maintain and operate the roads in Virginia. These are people you pass on your commute that are in safety vests, standing behind traffic cones, flashing lights. Their job depends on motorists making the right decisions at the right time. Virginia's Move Over law exists because people are being hit and either severely injured or killed while doing their jobs. These are preventable tragedies, and this is a life-saving law. In 2024, there were 263 crashes that occurred within our work zones, many of which use truck-mounted attenuators. These are devices used to protect the workers and their work vehicles and are very visible to the traveling public. Additionally, our safety service patrols, which are the crews that help drivers who break down, who help warn folks of crashes, as well as our incident management coordinators, were involved in 77 of these 263 hits in 2024. And out of those 79 hits, we had one safety service patrol killed in 2024 and one killed in 2023, hit on the side of the road while helping an accident scene. These are folks who were just simply doing their job to get the incident scene cleared or to help a stranded motorist on the side of the road. Air crews respond to crashes in the dark, clear debris in the rain, plow snow, reopen lanes after major instances, all while traffic continues to move at least 60 to 70 miles an hour right adjacent to them. They are wearing high visibility safety gear and working behind cones just a few feet from the traffic and doing everything they can to protect themselves. But we can't put a barrier between them and every car that passes by. That responsibility belongs to the motorist. Work zones and incident scenes are some of the most dangerous places on our roads. Cones, signs, flashing lights are there for one reason: to warn you that workers and people are present. When you see flashing lights or stopped vehicles on the side of the road, the Move Over law requires drivers to move over if it's safe to do so. If you can't, slow down. That's all it takes, and it can be the difference between life and death for our workers. On behalf of VDOT workers, incident management coordinators, safety service patrol operators, contractors, and all of those that work to keep our roads safe and keep Virginia moving, thank you for doing your part to make Virginia's roads safer for all folks, including people working on the side of the road. Thank you.
When experiencing roadside breakdowns, particularly during night times, when you see the sight of those amber lights, you feel that sense of reality. You feel that you are in a particular spot where you're taken care of. But however, do you ever consider that tow operator who is working in the middle of the night, who's at the eye level of a vehicle as they approach, or that tow operator who has the ability to only work from the left or the right side of a vehicle, where part of their body is still positioned in the roadside? This happens every single day that they're out here doing this job. Morgan Dean from AAA Club Alliance will provide insight about our towing industries and towing perspective. Morgan?
Thanks, Brad. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year as well. Starting the new year, like Brad mentioned. The big thing we talk about, the danger starts the moment that anyone stops on the roadside. I'm going to say that again. The danger starts the moment anyone stops on that roadside. That was the idea that the AAA Clubs of Virginia worked from with the 2023 change to Virginia's Move Over law. It added hazard lights to the list that already included red, blue, and amber lights where drivers are required to slow down or move over if possible. In a 2021 poll of Virginia drivers that we did at AAA, we found that 28% of drivers at that time didn't think Virginia had a move over law. Spoiler alert, we did. While 97% said that they would support one. That told us we needed to do a little bit of work on it. The 2023 change to the law that added hazard lights as well as emergency signs and flares should take some of the confusion out about whether or not to move over. Any stationary vehicle on the side of the road displaying any kind of hazard lights or emergency signs should prompt drivers to bring that speed down and safely change lanes to give that safety barrier, that life-saving safety barrier to the person on the right side of the road. They may be waiting for help, they may be changing a tire, and let's face it, if it's on one side of the car, you could be changing a tire inches, not feet, but inches away from traffic that is speeding by on the interstate. It could be a medical emergency. It doesn't really matter why someone's on the side of that road. We want them to be safe out there, and that's what the move over law does. We want everyone to be protected, and for us, it's also very, very personal. We want to protect our teams that are out on the roadway 24/7. Our roadside crews are out there helping people, which is why we also helped change the law last year to allow variable message signs, like you see over my right shoulder here back on the side there. We've got it displaying slow down and move over today. Signs like this can make a difference for all of our roadside crews and construction crews and everybody else that's on the side of the road to remind drivers to slow down, move over. A study by our AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety found that when these signs are in use, the odds of a vehicle moving over were 95% higher than when that sign is not being used. So here we go. We've got some great laws here in the state of Virginia. We just need all of the great drivers that we know are out there to help us by following that law. Too often, some drivers move over, leaving that lane open, and what happens? We see a driver behind us get into that right lane past traffic at a higher speed than what traffic was already going to do because they saw an opening there. That's so very dangerous, and it puts everybody on the side of that road and everybody else in and around that road at risk. So we remind people, slow down, move over, do what you can to protect those on the roadside. Be a model and help those folks. One life lost on our roadside is far too many. Thank you.
Chesterfield County is approximately 437 square miles. Our public safety agencies, which include Chesterfield County Police, Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office, Chesterfield County Fire and EMS, provide this coverage for this county 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless of the weather. They are always out there. Colonel Frank Carpenter with the Chesterfield County Police Department will give us some insight on how our public safety agencies provide this service and how their lives are affected daily by those that fail to move over and slow down.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out to the Eanes Pittman Public Safety Training Center. Thank you to the media for coming out and televising this important message that we want to get out to the community. Like many have already discussed, we are talking about the effects of what it means to move over when individuals are alongside the roadways. The move over law in Virginia is extremely important. This law is not just a rule of the road, it's a life-saving responsibility to protect those people who protect us. Every day, police officers, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, tow truck drivers, road maintenance workers put their lives in danger to help our community. When their vehicles are stopped on the side of the road with flashing lights, they're often just a few feet away from high-speed traffic. It only takes one distracted driver, one moment of inattention to cause a tragedy. The Virginia Move Over Law is simple but powerful. When you approach a stopped emergency vehicle or service vehicle with flashing lights, you're required to move over to the next lane if it's safe to do so. If moving over is not possible, you must, I repeat, you must slow down significantly. This law exists for one reason only, and that is to save lives. Unfortunately, too many people are injured or killed every year because drivers fail to move over. These are preventable incidents. The men and women working on the roadways are someone's family members, someone's friend, someone's neighbor that deserves to return home at the end of their shift. If you would just take a moment and think about when you call 911, help comes to you. When your car is broken down on the side of the road and you request assistance, help arrives. When there's a crash and emergency responders rush towards the danger, the Move Over law is one small way that we can return the care and respect that they deserve. The law also protects every driver. When emergency vehicles respond to the scene, it's safer. Traffic is smoother. Secondary crashes are reduced, and everyone benefits. Move Over is not just an inconvenience, it is an act of awareness and responsibility. So please, pay attention while driving. Is it the key? Put your phone down. Watch the roadway ahead. Look for flashing lights. A few seconds of caution can prevent a lifetime of regret. Let me be clear. The Move Over law is not just about avoiding a ticket or a fine. It's about choosing compassion over carelessness. It's about recognizing the road is a shared space and our actions matter. In conclusion, the next time you see flashing lights ahead of you, let's remember to slow down, to stay alert, and to move over to save lives. Thank you.
Mr. Jack Sullivan, the Director of Training for the Emergency Response Safety Institute, will discuss practices and statistics related to struck-by incidents. The Institute has monitored these incidents involving fire, EMS, law enforcement, towing, and transportation to develop and share statistics to prevent struck-by incidents and making sure that our first responders come home safely to their families. I'd like to introduce Mr. Jack Sullivan.
I had to write down my remarks today because Brad said that I was only allowed to talk for a few minutes. He knows that I would go on all day about this. This is not just a local or Commonwealth of Virginia problem. It's a nationwide issue. In 2025, the Emergency Responder Safety Institute tracked a total of 35 roadway incident responders who were struck and killed by vehicles at incident scenes. 16 were law enforcement personnel, 3 fire and EMS personnel, 10 tow operators, 3 road service technicians, and 3 DOT Safety Service Patrol operators nationwide were struck and killed in 2025. Over the last 7 years, 2019 through 2025, there have been 138 law enforcement officers struck and killed, 45 fire and EMS personnel struck and killed, 107 tow operators struck and killed, 11 road service technicians struck and killed, and 13 DOT Safety Service Patrol operators struck and killed while stopped and working at incident scenes around the country. That's a total of 333 responders over the past 7 years who have been struck and killed by vehicles, an average of 47 a year. And yet when I talk to a lot of politicians and people that were asking for help on this particular subject, they go, well, 47 is not a very big number. It's a big number to us and to those families that are left without loved ones at this point. Remember, though, there are also numerous other struck-by vehicle cases at roadway incidents each year that result in responder injuries and/or property emergency vehicle damages. Additionally, there are secondary crashes where drivers and/or their passengers of striking vehicles have been injured or killed. Sadly, there is no national resource that has accurate data on all the fatalities, injuries, and property damage associated with these secondary crashes. We're working with the Federal Highway Administration to develop a website where agencies, departments, and organizations can report secondary crashes at incident scenes. That nationwide data collected in the system will give us all a clearer picture of the causes of these secondary crashes. And it will also give us an idea of some of the most effective preventive strategies and tactics for roadway incidents. Drivers who are suspected of being drunk, drowsy, distracted, drugged, or disgruntled are noted as common causes of secondary crashes, but it would help to have more accurate data so we can aim at better solutions. We need to continue with roadway incident safety training and traffic incident management training for all roadway incident responders. We also need to increase and improve our outreach to the motoring public about how to pass incident scenes safely. We have to continue to drive home the hazards of working near moving traffic. We have to reinforce strategies and tactics for safer incident operations. We have to promote communication, collaboration, and cooperation between all disciplines through team committees meeting on a regular basis. All our responders need to consistently use appropriate personnel protective equipment while they're out on the street. And we need to all support technology development and deployment for systems like digital alerting services and the new emergency lighting packages that are available today. Driver education needs to include information about move-over laws and how to navigate safely around incident scenes. And finally, a reminder for all drivers. Your driving behavior is being observed by younger members of the community who aren't driving yet. Be a positive role model so they learn to be good drivers in the future. Move over for flashing lights and incident scenes whenever possible. And if you can't move over safely, slow down and focus on passing the incident scene safely. Thank you for your attention on this matter today, and I appreciate the invitation to join you.
We're coming out to the end of this. But we're not coming out to the end of what needs to be taken care of. This is just the beginning. Each and every day, we need to think about this when we get in on the roadways and think about how we can proactively address this alarming increase in roadside incidents that tragically claim the lives of drivers and first responders every day. I'm optimistic that through the collaboration of these individuals behind me and the team support of our local law enforcement and public safeties and our government leaders, we can make this happen. In conclusion, these individuals behind me that you see that represent these first responders, when I mean first responders, I'm talking about everybody. Police, fire, EMS, tow truck operators, highway safety workers, AAA, anybody who is out here on the roadway, you are a first responder. You are considered as the faces of heroes in my eyes, because you are the first or the last face anybody could ever see. But not only that, these individuals behind me, they're heroes in my eyes because of the fact that they come out here regardless of the weather, like today, regardless of what's going on at home. They still come out here and they do their job 110% to make sure you come home alive. We kindly request that you reduce your speed, please. And just as you desire to return home to your family, so do they. They want to come home to their family. My secondary family here is Drive Smart. I've been volunteering with them for 11 years. I've been a representative for them throughout the state of Virginia. doing all kinds of advocacy, talking to students, talking to military personnel, talking to anybody who wanted to listen. But they also give away literature, as you see right behind you over here to your left or right, that say slow down and move over. I will be working closely with our public safety entities to have these signs displayed at all of our local fire stations, police stations, and other areas so that you as drivers see these signs, not just on Move Over Awareness Month, but now and going forward. I will be working closely with our judicial system, working on the laws to make sure that individuals who are pulled over for the incidents are held responsible for these incidents that occur. No more of this slapping of the wrist when they go to court. If you do the crime, you should get the ticket and do the fine for it. Not only does Drive Smart work closely with the Move Over, but they also work with pedestrian safety, bicycle safety, and anything dealing with you in general to get from point A to point B. So please, this nonprofit organization works hard, tirelessly, each and every day to make sure that they put forth this effort to make sure that drivers, individuals, have not only the opportunity to receive items so that they can give to their employees or their staff, but for you and your family to understand what is necessary to be a safe driver, a cognizant driver, and a responsible driver. These D drivers have got to stop. Finally, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. I know it's cold out here. I can feel it. But like I said, this is the element that our first responders have to deal with. I want to thank Chesterfield County Fire and EMS for coming out here, Chesterfield County Police Department, Chesterfield County Sheriff's Department, New Kent County Sheriff's Office, Richmond Police, Richmond Sheriff's Department, Richmond Fire Department, VDOT, AAA, all of our advocacies, and a family of an advocate. That will be my family. They're here for the first time to hear me speak. And I'll be honest with you, it's really tough for me to sit up here and to talk in front of them because they've never had the opportunity to be there when I really needed them to hear me speak, because it's hard for them to hear me speak in public. Watching me on TV, that's totally different. But to see me in person and to hear my words and to see these individuals behind me, it reflects everything that I work hard for to pass this law and to work hard to promote this law and to make sure that these individuals know that I care about them just as much as they care about me. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out here today. This truly means a lot to me. It truly means a lot to this county. It also means a lot to this Commonwealth. So thank you.